Okay, so we are recording. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Megan Carter. I am Triple Diamond Leader here with It Works, and the Zoom tonight is going to be all about vision casting, all about manifesting what we are worthy of, and also just kind of knowing what our worth is. I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys to go ahead and mute yourselves, and if you get unmuted throughout the Zoom, go ahead and just keep track of that and mute yourself again. But I'm really excited to get to know you guys and get to know you, you guys get to know me as well. But just going to dive kind of right into this. So we know that the key to success starts with your mind, your mindset, and where you can see yourself going. A lot of times we are used to other people in our past telling us what our future is going to be. And sometimes we don't understand yet that we define what that is. It's not somebody else. It's not our parents. It's not a friend. It's not a spouse. It's we. We get to define that ourselves. And so tonight, I want us to do this together and define what our future is going to be, starting tonight, not tomorrow, tonight, what our future is going to be. And you need to clearly define what you're going after. And so tonight we're going to be going like step by step. You guys, I did this. I've been kind of doing this for a couple months, and I've just compiled all of what I've done into one Zoom. So I'm going to try to do this in 1 hour and just knock it out. But you have to clearly know where you're going and define what it is. You really can't just say, like, I want to make money. Like, yeah, we all want to make money. We all want to be successful. But what does that mean to you? What does making money mean to you? What is that going to provide for you? And how much do you need to make? And then when you make that, then what? What's going to be the next step? And we have to stop playing small. That's going to be my biggest suggestion in this entire activity we're going to be doing together. Don't think small. It is very uncomfortable when you do this, especially for the first time, because like when you start writing down these things that we're going to be writing down, it's like your heart will start racing because you're like, there's no freaking way that this is going to happen. But when you start writing it down and you start seeing it on paper, and what we're going to be doing is putting an action to it and then trying to find some way to make it fun as well. And every single thing that we're going to be writing down, it's going to start happening. And then we're going to be able to look back on this exercise that we're doing and say, I remember on November 13th, sitting with Megan on the Zoom, and I said, this is what I want. I started to envision this is how my future is going to be. I manifested it for my future, and here I am 6 months later, and it happened. And so I just want to make sure that you guys
do
know that just don't think small on this. Think big when we are going over this activity. And then also just be excited, because there is so much that we can manifest into our lives that we haven't even started to do yet. And that's the exciting part about this, is sometimes we get caught in the bubble of the now and forget about what we can do. And I think the excitement of what the future is going to be can hold us into, maybe we're not at where we want to be right now. Maybe we're not making the amount of money we want to make. Maybe we're not doing what we want to do right now. Maybe we're still stuck at our 9 to 5 when we didn't want to be stuck at our 9 to 5 right now. But when we start thinking about what we're going to be able to do and be able to be successful, and that's what's going to hold you continually doing the things every single day to get there. Today, I just want to share this with you guys. Today, I went through my Facebook page to the first ever photo I put on Facebook, the first ever one. And I went from that day all the way up to today. And I kept on saving photos of things that big monumental moments in my life that's been happening throughout the couple years. And when I got to when I started with It Works 4.5 years ago, I could see a difference in who I was and where I was going, because this business has allowed me to think the next step, be grateful for where I'm at, and we all need to be grateful for where we are at, but also be excited for where we're going to be. And one thing I want to share with you guys, and I can actually probably share my screen on my phone to show you it. As I was going through all these pictures, I came across my dream boards. I came across, and we didn't really have dream boards, vision boards before. We had like a piece of paper And everything that I wrote down, and this is 4.5 years ago, has happened. And then it was like, okay, that happened. Okay, we need a new one. And then that happened. And we need a new one. And that happened. And I want us to get back to writing these things down, being confident in what we write down, and thinking big of what we're going to be writing down. And let me share with you guys if it'll let me connect. I want to show you this. Oh, no, it's not going to let me. Okay, so scratch that. I could probably just show you a so this was like my first ever, this is 2015 with me and my son, and my son is now 5. My first ever goal board, we used to call them. And it's just me and him, and I wrote down my goals for 2015. And on this sheet, and this is when I just got started in the business, was pay off my Bank of America credit card, pay off my Loft credit card, pay for Caden's first birthday, pay off my Wells Fargo credit card, be diamond with It Works, be on the dean's list for my design school. I was in interior design school. Be a stay-at-home mom, and smile more and inspire others. Every single thing on that list has come true, even down to the dean's list in the school that I was in. And I'm finding all the pictures of all the accomplishments, but it's by manifesting and knowing what I wanted to accomplish. That's how it accomplished. And then doing the work and praying a lot and showing up is how it actually did evolve into coming true. Another one was, this was my other dream board. You guys, I am so not like fancy. Like some people have Pinteresty dream boards. Like I'm like paper and pencil. And on here it was go to Disney, be a stay-at-home mom, fix the paint on my car. Instead of fixing the paint on my car, I bought a new car because of this business. But this was the credit card I cut up that was on that sheet of being able to pay off. So I hope that gives you just some encouragement of some things that we're going to be writing down. But also just remember that you attract what you believe you deserve, not just what you are. You attract what you believe that you deserve. So do you believe that you deserve a paycheck with a comma in it? Do you believe you deserve a five-figure paycheck monthly? Do you believe that you deserve to be inspiring from somebody for other people? Like, what is it that you deserve in your life? And are you showing up enough to actually make that come true? That's another part of it. And so what I want us to do is I want us to write, before we even get started in the activity, I want us to write 3 things that we are grateful for right now. The first 3 things that pop in your head, and really it should only take you like 90 seconds to think this about. So there should be 3 things. It could be the sunset tonight. It could be the food you just ate for dinner. Just 3 things that you're grateful for. It could be your kids. It could be the church. It could be your cute water bottle. I really like this water bottle when I went to the gym, so that's gonna be one thing that I'm grateful for. So 3 things that we're grateful for. I'm laughing because mine are a water bottle, my son, and shrimp. Because I had shrimp for dinner tonight and it was so good. But this is something that I'm trying to get accustomed to doing. Every single day I start my mornings, I make my bed, and I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. And it's crazy what happens is and you can't write the same thing. Like, it has to be different every day. And it's crazy what happens is like you run out of things, because we always say, like, the first thing that when someone says, what are you grateful for? You're like, my kids, my health. But if you actually can't say it again, you have to start looking for other things in your life that you're grateful for. A kitchen dining room table. That's what I use for my desk. Like, I'm grateful for this table because it provides a place for my son and I to eat, but also it's my desk, my workspace. And so I highly encourage you guys every single day, make yourself, put a reminder in your phone. I use alarms in my phones for like everything and put an alarm for whatever time that you wake up in the morning. Make your bed the first thing you do, and then because if you make your bed, that is the first accomplishment that you have done. You have successfully conquered the first thing of your day, and you have been successful at something, which is making your bed. So that's like kind of like give yourself a pat on the back and celebrate yourself for making your bed. Not everybody makes their bed. And a fun fact is all millionaires always make their bed. And then another fun fact is millionaires either go to bed at 5 a.m. in the morning or they wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning. 5 a.m. is the average time that a millionaire either wakes up or goes to bed, which means they work a full day until 5 a.m. or they wake up at 5 a.m. to start their day. So it's kind of a fun fact that I learned recently. But make yourself an alarm and just say 3 things that I'm grateful for, and just write those 3 things down. Keep it in a journal, because you can look back in a year from now, in 3 weeks from now, when you're having a really, really hard day, and just go back and read those things that you're grateful for. Because even when you're having a hard day, you'll be able to come back and say, on the 16th, I was so grateful for a walk in the park. On the 17th, I was so grateful for ice cream with my son, and it's going to allow you to get out of that rut. Okay, so let's move on to my next one. So another part 2 of that is when you go to bed, if you want to take it a step further, then write down 1 thing that you're grateful for that happened that day. So like for me right now, we're kind of doing it, but today I had a great day with my son. He played baseball. He had a really good time, a really good hit, and I got to go to dinner with my whole family. That was like a really good part of my day, and that's what I would write down for what I'm grateful for the day. So you get to basically wake up with a grateful heart, and you get to go to bed with a grateful heart, and you will see your attitude change completely, because you're no longer looking at the things that are going wrong in your life. You guys, life is not perfect. Nobody's life is perfect. When a lot of times, like when I get a lot of questions of like, when you started making a 5-figure paycheck, like, didn't your life like change? Like, I still have problems. I still have issues that go on. I still have a whole bunch of crap going on in my life. But what I started to do is I started to look at what I'm grateful for rather than all the problems that were happening in my life, and my mood completely changes. And so end your day with whatever you're grateful for that day. Okay, so we're going to dive into our why. So if you've already done your why, you're a step ahead of us, but I challenge you to dig deeper into your why. If you've never kind of looked into what your why is, I'm going to kind of explain it, and then I want you guys to dig as deep as you can possibly go with this, because many times when we say, oh yeah, and my why is my kids, like that's pretty much all of us. If you have kids, your why is your kids, because we want our kids to be have a successful and abundant life. Yet, why do you want that for your kids? Is there something specific that you want to give them that maybe you didn't have, or maybe it's you want a specific moment for them, and you're wanting to have an extra income to be able to do that. I want us to really dig deep on why you joined this business. And I'm going to be doing this too. I'm changing my why, because your why can always change, and be okay with that. Change is good. And so let's start. It's going to take about 3 minutes, and we're just going to kind of dig into our why. And there's probably going to be some silence here, which is going to be, I'm going to have some music playing in the back, but kind of just dig in. Think about, the moment before you joined this business, what was empty in your heart, and what were you trying to fill? For me, it was the fact of I needed more time with my son. I'm a single mom, and I have extreme guilt of being a single mom, that he doesn't have both mom and dad in the house. And so I felt that I needed to be with him more, and allow him to have mommy all the time. And that was important for me. And I didn't want to be another statistic of a single mom. And so with this business, my why was just to be able to be with him. But now my why over time has changed outrageously, because now my why is to be able to allow Caden to know that, my son's name is Caden, to know that I've got his back. If he needs me at any time, while he's at school, because I'm still at home, even though he's in school, him knowing that mommy can come pick him up if he has lice, please never, knock on wood, or if he gets hurt at school, or if he has a doctor's appointment, or me being able to just come and volunteer in his school. So that's a part of my why. But now my why for myself personally is to get me happy, to get me as not just mom, as not just It Works, but me happy, and finding out what it is that I'm longing right now. And I have officially figured out what that is. And it's crazy of when you dig deep into your soul, you will find what that is. And we always say that if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not deep enough. And when I sat at the beach the other day for about 3 hours, and I just spoke to God, and I was like, okay, God, I need to feel it again. I need to know what is my purpose? Why am I still doing this? Why did I know why I joined, but why am I still doing it? And so I know what that is. So I want you guys to dig deep and figure out what is the reason why you joined this business, and why is it so important to you for you to be successful in this business. So write that down, and when you have figured it out, I want you guys, if you feel comfortable, go ahead and share it in the chat. I would love to know what they are, and I will share with you guys mine too. And I haven't shared with anyone yet what mine is. Yes, Melanie, if you feel comfortable sharing it, go ahead and put it in the chat. I'm just reading them, you guys. It's one thing to know like what your own why is, but when you start reading what other people's are, first of all, you can relate to a lot of them, but also this business allows us to think and feel like things are possible for our future. And I don't know, and I can't speak on y'all's behalf, but I know for myself, I didn't think like this before this business. I didn't think about what I wanted for my future. I thought about the today and like what happened yesterday, because I was living so paycheck to paycheck, below paycheck to paycheck, living with my family, working full time, going to school part time, rarely seeing my child, that I couldn't even think about what I wanted the next week rather than the next year. And reading some of these that you guys are writing in the chats, I mean, it's amazing of who God brings into this business. And I know that our foundation of this business is God, and because we are a faith-based company, and we all have such a strong heart. And you can, as I'm reading these, it's just like my heart's growing, because I know that, like when I just read about the coffee, you know, being able to, when you see workers outside and being able to one day just go and buy them all coffee, that is a giving heart. And the moment of being able to do something like that for someone, your heart will be full because you were able to give. And this business is going to allow you to do that. It may not be right now, but it will. And you have to just keep going. I see somebody wrote about the holidays coming up, and that is right now, is with it being November, this is one of those times of the year where people start realizing that, you know, if you're in sales, if you're in retail, if you're in serving, you know, that you don't want to be in that anymore because you have to work holidays most of the time. And so a lot of people right now, including maybe some of you guys right now, are dreaming of that moment of where you don't have to do that anymore. And so make sure that you are reaching out to every single server, every single person in retail and in sales, and just letting them know about the opportunity that they have, especially right after the holidays too, because they've already gone through those emotions of like, I wish I was with my kids. I wish I was able to not have to miss out on a Thanksgiving because there's Black Friday that I have to now work during the day because Black Friday is no longer Friday. It's like the day of Thanksgiving. And when I read that, I just cannot wait to be able to help you guys be able to not have to work on the holidays. And you guys come first. You guys, there's a couple of you guys that showed up on this, and you guys are the ones that are showing up, which means you guys, and you guys are going to be watching the recording too. But when you're watching this, you are making it a priority in your life to put yourself first, put your family first, but also put your vision first. And you have to know where you're going to go before you're going to get there. And which is going to kind of lead right into our next activity, which is going to break it down. What we just wrote, it's going to really break that down for us of what we want in the next 2020. We're going to be, which is so crazy to say 2020, we're getting into that next year. And I want you guys to think about what brings you the most joy in your life. Like, what are you passionate about? And write that down. If it's giving to others, if it's going and worshiping at church, is it spending time with your kids? What is that one thing that brings you that most joy, that just makes you so happy? And here's the thing, when I asked myself this question, I couldn't answer it. Because I spent so long just trying to provide for my son that I forgot about me. I forgot about what makes me happy. And I want us to zone in on that. What makes you happy? And I want you to make that a priority, to do more of whatever that is. If it's going shopping with your sister, if it's going to the park and reading, if it's running, if it's, whatever that one thing is that makes you happy, do more of that. Because when you're happy, your reflections of you being happy will show into the business as well. You will see a direct impact in your team because you're the leader of your team, but it'll impact your business in such a positive way when you are genuinely happy. So I'm gonna write mine down. What sparks joy basically in your life? Okay, so I'm going to kind of change tone here because this is the fun part. So we are going to completely vision cast for all of 2020, which is crazy. Because a lot of times we vision cast for like the next 90 days. No, like we're going 2020 and we're also going to hit 5 years from now, which is going to be so fun. When you set these visions, allow yourself to have grace though while you're doing them. Why I say that is because when you write these things down, sometimes they won't happen, and that is okay. That's just God telling you, like, it's not going to happen right now, but it's going to happen. So whatever that you write down, and if it doesn't happen, just move it to the next month, move it to the next month after that, and just know that it will happen. But allow yourself grace. Don't beat yourself up if you put a timeline on something and it doesn't happen on that timeline. Because what happens is if you're pushing yourself to achieve whatever type of goal or vision that is, you're one step closer because you just pushed yourself really hard to make that happen. So if it doesn't happen that month, it's just going to happen the next month. If it doesn't happen that month, it's just going to happen the next month because you're getting one step closer every time. So keep that in mind when you write these down. So I want you guys to write down 3 months, and then I want you to write on the left side of your page, write down work, so it works, related. And on the right side of the page, I want you to write down personal. So we're gonna basically have 2 columns for every time we do this. So we're gonna look big picture right now. We're not gonna break it down yet. We're just gonna look big picture. So 3 months, 90 days from now, which will be, let's say, what are we in? November, December, January, February. So February 13th, basically Valentine's Day. Where do you want to be with your business? So if you're at, maybe it's a rank, maybe it's a promotion, maybe it's I want to have 5 events between now and then, 2 a month, maybe, which would be 6 events, but maybe it's I want to be double diamond. Remember, in February, that means it'd be right after conference. So conference at the end of January. Keep that in mind. So 90 days from now, which would be February 13th, where do you want to be with It Works? So write that down. Okay, and then what I want you to do is on the right-hand side where it says personal, where do you want to be in your personal life? Maybe it's faith-related, maybe it's health-related, maybe it's a relationship-related, maybe it's family-related. Where do you want to be in 90 days from now? Maybe it's making a priority of having dates with your husband twice a month. You know, where do you want to be in 90 days from now? Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the same thing for 6 months. So left-hand side of the page, where do you wanna be with It Works in your work in 6 months from now? So 6 months from now would be February, March, April, May 13th. Where do you wanna be in this business on May 13th? So basically, what kind of paycheck do you wanna have on May 15th? Because we'll be getting paid in a couple days after that. You wanna see your first 5-figure paycheck on May 15th? Which is absolutely doable. 6 months from now, absolutely doable, especially in our busy season. Remember, don't think small. Give yourself the credit to where credit's deserved. If you believe that you want to be, if you're Diamond or Ruby right now and you're like, I want to make 5 figures in May, write that down. Get crazy. Write it down. You guys, I just wrote May 15th is my 30th birthday, and I have some crazy goals for my 30th birthday. I want to be 130 pounds by my 30th birthday. That's about 50 pounds I need to lose. But I also want to be debt-free on my 30th birthday. But I also want to have my first ambassador paycheck on my 30th birthday. Like, that's some crazy goals. Lose 50 pounds, be debt-free, and get an ambassador paycheck. Like, I'm writing it down, I'm like sweating. I'm like, oh God. But I'm writing it, I'm manifesting it. And even when I'm writing it, I'm like, I can do that. I'm scared out of my bones, but I can do that. There's nothing in this world that's stopping you except for yourself. Nothing. And what it is this. This is what's stopping you. Your mind. Your mind is stopping you. Most of the time, it's not even the physical of you that's stopping you. It's your mind being like, should I do this today or should I sleep? Should I talk to one more person or should I just go do something else? This person was mean to me today, so I'm just going to stop here. Like, it's our mind that gets in our way. So if we can control our mind, nothing can hold us back. And so on the right side of your paper, write down personal. 6 months from now, where do you want to be? I just shared with you guys that I want to be debt-free by my 30th birthday. And I'm in, if you guys have never heard about the Dave Ramsey Financial Peace class, I highly recommend it. You can just go on his website and you can look for it. I'm in the class right now. And it talks about, like, once you do go debt-free, like, you need to celebrate that. You need to, you know, within reason, don't be going to get yourself back into debt, but within reason, celebrate. And so I'll be taking my son to Tennessee, and we're going to be flying up to Tennessee. He's going to go on his second ever airplane ride. He really wants to go up there. And he already knows, like, they do what's called the debt-free scream. So when you're debt-free, you put these earphones on, you get to talk to Dave Ramsey himself, and you get to scream in the microphone, like, we're debt-free. And it's just me and my son right now. And because we listen to his podcast and we hear other people being debt-free, and my son, even, he's 5 years old, and he's like, Mommy, are you debt-free yet? I'm like, no, not yet. It will be there. And I'm manifesting, like, we are going to go. I am going to be able to provide him that moment of being able to see, Mommy did it. Like, and I've already, like, figured out flights. I've already figured out how much the flight's going to be, hotels around the area. You know, I got to rent a car, you know, but I'm telling him, like, we're talking about, like, what do we want to do when we go around there? Like, is there an aquarium? My son loves underwater things. But I wrote down on mine, like, I want to be debt-free, but I want to be getting ready and packing for our trip. Because May 23rd, we're going to be going up to Georgia. And then on the 27th or 28th, we're going to be doing our debt-free scream. Like, I already wrote down the day. You guys, I still have a whole bunch of debt. Like, once again, scares me even saying it, but I'm manifesting it. I'm talking about it. I'm writing it down. And writing it down makes me realize I better get my butt to work and get this done, because I'm telling my son he's depending on this trip now. And I am excited and nervous, but just looking forward to that moment to have with him. That's manifesting. That's seeing what the vision of your future is going to be. And so let's go into 1 year. So 1 year from now, where do you want to be? Left-hand side, it works. Right-hand side, personal. Okay, guys, and this is the hard one. 5 years from now. Have you guys even thought about that? Like, 5 years from now. 5 years can go by so fast, but so much can change in 5 years. I had a baby 5 years ago. My life looked so different 5 years ago. I was partying it up and I was being super naive, which is how I got a baby. And I think about that all the time, like 5 years from now, so much can happen. You can have multiple babies if you want in 5 years. You could become a millionaire in 5 years. In our company, we have what's called the Millionaires Club. Like, that is on my agenda. I want to be on that stage when they announce Millionaires Club. And becoming a millionaire, to me, it's not money. It's what happens is money allows opportunities to be able to help other people. And that's what I want. I want to be able to just go anywhere and be able to provide an opportunity to be able to help people. It's not about us. It's about what we can do for other people. Yes, it's going to be really nice to be comfortable and knowing like our future is totally taken care of till the end of time, but it's the ability to be able to help others is what's driving me to work this business. And so where do you want to be 5 years from now? So that's like 2025. Ooh, that's crazy saying. I'll be 35. What age will you be? Write that down. Write down that age. And where do you want to be in this business 5 years from now? Okay, I about crap myself when I just wrote what I just wrote. Oh my God. No. Okay, so then on the right-hand side for personal, where do you want to be in 5 years in just personal stuff? Health, family, relationship, weight. Mine sounds crazy, but I want to get my bottom teeth fixed, so I really don't want to get braces, but it's one of those like it's probably going to have to happen. So I want that at least in the next 5 years, just get that fixed. Okay, so now that we have vision casted for our next 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years from now, what we want in our life, both personal and it works, I want you guys to start, which we're not going to do this tonight, but you can look up different ones if you need help with online, on Pinterest, on just Google, coming up with affirmations for yourself, for whatever those things are, especially for your personal ones, but also your it works ones. You can also say declarations. It's not just affirmations, but just something. So you'll say it in the form of I am. So for example, one of mine is going, like I just said, going to Tennessee and doing the debt-free scream. So I'm going to say, I am on the plane flying to Tennessee with my son with zero debt, and in my bank account, whatever input number, on the way to be able to scream our debt-free scream. Like I'm saying I'm already doing that. I haven't yet, but I am going to be doing it. And so put those goals and visions of yours in an affirmation to yourself and start declaring it to yourself every day. I am 130 pounds on my 30th birthday. I am Ambassador Diamond with It Works Global and receiving my first paycheck on my 30th birthday on May 15th. I am in a committed, serious relationship with a ring on my finger. You know, so put those goals and visions in an affirmation or a declaration and start telling it to yourself every single day. You guys, I had declaration or affirmations on my mirror. Now I had to take them down because they're super personal and my son was reading them, so I have to be a little more careful now. But put them somewhere where you're going to be seeing them. Maybe it's in your car, maybe it's in I actually just came across a picture of mine, and I totally forgot that I did this. A couple of years ago, I put affirmations on the passenger seat of my car, like where like the glove, what do you call that? Where you put like your insurance stuff, whatever that thing's called. But I put it right there because I wanted people to see them when they got in my car, and I wanted them to ask me about it because every time they would ask me about it, it held me accountable to be completing them. So like I am diamond, I am double diamond, and they're like, did you go diamond yet? Did you go triple diamond yet? And I'm like, yep. And being able to say that was such a refreshing feeling. But so putting it in and telling a family member, telling a friend, and letting them hold you accountable, it's not a bad thing. And even if you don't accomplish it in the time frame that you want accomplishment, so what? You just move it to the next month, and you know that it's going to be accomplished. But now what I want us to do is I'm going to go into the next thing. So I want you guys to make your next sheet of paper just like this. So you're just going to write like January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, November, December, 2020. And so what we just did is, you know, in 3 months, we wrote down like where we want to be. So 3 months, we know that's in February. So whatever you wrote in 3 months, go in your February and write down It Works, and write what that goal of yours was. Then put personal and what that goal was. So your 3, 6, and 12 is already done. Your February, your May, and your November is already done. Does that make sense? Okay, so that should be kind of easy part of it. So we already know what our 3 months is, which would be February. So you wrote February, underneath it just it works, whatever that goal was, then personal, whatever that goal was, and then go down to May, same thing. It works, whatever the goal was, personal, whatever the goal was, and then November, which would be a year from now. It works, whatever the goal is, and then personal, whatever the goal is. So here's where it gets crazy. So for example, I wrote for my 6 months from now, I want to be getting my first ambassador paycheck, right? So that means, so I'm breaking it down, that means I have to be ambassador by the end of April. Because if I'm going to get my first ambassador paycheck in May, I have to be it in April, which then means if I break it down even more, that means because I'm triple right now, then I have to be presidential somewhere before then. So at least, and I consider conferences in January, then February comes, February and March, so maybe March presidential, or February presidential, and then March be a strong presidential, and then April be ambassador. But, and then if you go to like your personal, so like mine right now, I mean, this is super personal, I don't care. I'm like 180 right now for weight, and I want to be 130. And so that's 50 pounds I need to lose. So if I break that down, I know that like, let's see, that's 6 months from now, 50 pounds, like 10 pounds a month. So I can write down each month where I need to be with like my weight. If it's relationship goals you have, you know, if it's how many dates you want to go on with your husband, write down like what those dates are that you want to go, where you want to go. If it's maybe getting your kids a school tutor, then you got to figure out like, okay, the month before you got to make sure that you got all your ducks in line for it to happen in the month of May or whatever it is. And so what we're going to be doing for just the next probably about 10 minutes is just writing down, breaking it down. So January, what is it going to be? It works in personal. February, it works in personal. March, it works in personal, so that your 3 months, your 6 months, and your 12 months is going to happen. You're just setting yourself up to success because you're breaking it down by month now. And the really cool thing about this is that you know then what your goal is for that next month that's about to happen. And so let's take about 10 minutes and find out. Everybody's going to be different, so I can't really give much suggestions on this. But let's spend 10 minutes breaking it down. And so by the end of this, you should have a piece of paper that literally says, January, it works in your personal. Your February, it works in your personal. Your March, it works in your personal for every single month of 2020. And what I want to suggest for you guys to do is you can still be pretty vague with these if you need at this moment, but spend the next couple nights, like give yourself 30 minutes and go back to the sheet and break it down even more into more detail. Like if, like for example, like I talked to you guys about how I want to go do this debt-free stream in May when I'm debt-free. Like like I knew that I need to figure out prices for the flight. I need to figure out what day is best. Like, I know I'm going to Georgia on the 23rd, so being able to just go from Georgia to Tennessee and just getting a rent a car from there to Tennessee and then flying back, you know, a hotel. So I broke it down to where, like, I already know where we're staying. I already know what kind of car we're going to be getting. I already know, you know, how long we're going to be there. And so breaking down each month so that you're already envisioning, you're vision casting what that event is going to look like. If it's you want to get married in a year from now, vision cast what that looks like. Get a Pinterest board out, you know, what is the colors, all that. I mean, it's kind of like we're basically kind of put that into perspective of like when you get married and you have to do the whole shebang of getting ready for it. We're preparing like our 2020 wedding in a sense, and making sure that we know exactly what we want. We know exactly how to get it. We know exactly what we need to do every single month to be able to stay on track, rather than be like, I kind of want this. We know exactly what we're going to be needing to accomplish to be able to get to that next level. So I just highly recommend giving yourself, you know, bullet points kind of right now, and then for the next couple of days going back to this list and really breaking it down. Spend some time. Maybe it's when your kids are sleeping, or maybe you wake up a little bit earlier before they wake up in the morning, and just focusing on you for a minute and what you truly do want in this next 2020 to make it different than the last 5 years of your life. Like, let's make 2020 one of the most epic years that we've ever had in our entire lives. That's what I want. I want it to be look not like last year. This last year has been great, but I want it next year to be excellent. I want it to be like a whole nother level. Like, I want it to be completely like not a year that I've never had before. And I'm terrified for that, but I'm so excited because I know what my next step is to be able to do things differently and see positive results and just be so excited for the future. So we're gonna do this for about 5 more minutes. So make sure you're doing this too, because this is going to help you know exactly what to like post about and stuff for the next 2020. And if your team isn't on this, make sure that they're watching the replay of this so that they can get all of this information as well. One thing that I wrote down for July of next year is, because August is when school starts for kids of next year, and a dream of mine is to be able to come and go to like different schools. Obviously start with my sons first, but a couple of them in the county, and just go pay for all of the kids' balances that are on their account. I found out something recently in our county is if the child comes with a unpaid balance or due on their account, the kids are singled out, and the administration has to give them just like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and an apple. And when on the other hand, the other kids get like the cookie and the pizza and all that kind of stuff. And health-wise, you know, it's not as healthy for them, but they're singled out. And it tugs at my heart, and like I get emotional talking about it, because these kids, it's not their fault that their parents can't afford to pay for their lunch and everything. And they're getting bullied a lot at the school because their parents weren't able to provide the money to be able to pay the amount that's due on their account. And that's something that's so important to me. Like I want to be able to go into the school and just say how much total is the balance for all kids before school starts, so that all kids can have a clean slate for the beginning of the year. And I want to be able to go to a couple schools and do that. And here's the thing though, is like I already know that tugs at my heart, that I've already gone into Caden School and I've already talked to the cafeteria administration and talked to them about how does that happen and how do I help. I'm not doing it, you know, I wasn't able to do it this last year, but I'm already planning on doing it for the year coming up, and to allow the kids to be able to have one less reason to get bullied when it wasn't even in their hands in the first place. And so like for me, like I want to do that obviously before school starts. So that's my July, like that's my It Works one for July. It's not even my personal, it's my It Works. I don't care. I mean, yes, I want to be able to make as much money as I possibly can with this business to be able to provide for my family, but I want to be able to provide for these kids to not be bullied, not have another reason to be bullied in their beginning of next school year. And so, whew, it just got me. Time's up for that, but what we're gonna, I'm gonna end this right here on, so I can get super personal with that. But what we're gonna be talking about is, this is kind of like what our roadmap is gonna be for 2020. And like, if you haven't finished, it's okay, because I still have to go back and do a couple more details on mine. But know exactly, if you guys didn't finish, please take the time to invest in yourself and invest in what your future is going to look like, because you're never going to get there unless you know how to get there. And this is like that roadmap to show you how to get there. And don't forget to don't think small on this, think big, outrageously crazy things, because when you start writing it down, when you start manifesting it, when you start saying, I am going to, or I am paying for Port Orange Elementary School, Spruce Creek Elementary School, Silver Sands Elementary School's lunches in beginning of the school year 2020. Like I'm already believing that's going to happen, that it's going to happen. Like I know it's going to happen because I'm already talking about it. I'm already manifesting it. I'm going to be praying about it a lot. And I'm just going to be working toward being able to do that. And what I want you guys to do is, now that we know where our roadmap is going to be, so we know January, this is what we want to accomplish. February, this is what we want to accomplish, both personal and It Works. March, this is what we want to accomplish. Now we know exactly what to be talking about in our posts on social media. You don't have to already have accomplished something to talk about the extravagant part about it. You can talk about what you're excited for it to be able to do for you, this business. So you can say something like, because of this business, I'm so excited for on May 26th. On May 26th, I'll be on an airplane with my son flying to Tennessee to do our debt-free scream, wearing those hideous earphones and holding hands and saying and screaming to each other, looking in his eyes. Oh, I'm gonna get all emotional. Looking in his eyes and knowing that I'm proud of myself that I did it, but also that he's proud of me, and being able to have that moment with me and sitting there with him, being in that moment. I am going to be there. You know, I am going to be Ambassador Diamond in this business. I am going to be sitting on the stage. Like, I want to one day be able to be standing on that stage, inspiring, and like at conference, and an entire arena of people, because my heart is for other people, and I just want to inspire people to see their value and see that God made us unique for a reason. We all have different strengths and we all have different weaknesses. But the thing is, my strength may counterbalance your weakness, and your strength may counterbalance mine. So we all need each other in this business. And that's what's so precious about this business, is we have such an incredible team that just always uplifts and encourages us to be a better version of ourselves. So I hope that you guys were able to find some value in this and be able to see that you are worthy. God placed you on this planet, and when he did that, he said, you are worthy. So we need to get that out of our mind, like, of saying, like, I'm not worthy, I don't feel like I'm worthy. No, you're freaking worthy. You are worthy of it, because God put you on this planet to make a difference. Our last, God's absolutely been speaking to me about what are, like, when you pass away, what do you want your legacy to be? My church has been talking about it. My Financial Peace has been talking about it. My book that I'm reading has been talking about it. So I'm like, okay, God, I heard it 3 times in 1 week. I hear you. So, you know, what do you want people to know you as? You know, I don't want people to know me as like making a whole bunch of money. I want people to remember me as how much of a difference I was able to make because I made a large amount of money with this business. It's not about the money. It's about what can I do and make a difference with it. And, I got off on a tangent there. Sorry, guys. But so I want you guys to be able to know that, you know, so in March or in May, you know, mine was, I'm going back to that whole, going to Tennessee and doing a debt-free scream, because I know what's happening. The more I talk about it, the more I'm like, I'm manifesting, come on. But so I'm going to be talking about that from now until May. I'm going to talk my butt off on that on my social media page, because what happens is that when it happens, there is always people watching you on social media. And, you know, it's one thing to do it on social media, but also verbalize it to people outside in the real world. Tell people at your church, tell people at your work, tell people at a T-ball game or whatever, wherever you guys are all at in your everyday life, and start talking about it. But what happens with social media is that there's always somebody watching you, and most of the time it's behind the scenes and you don't know they're watching you. But what happens is that when you're talking about, like, I can't wait for it to happen because of this business, A, B, C, and D is going to happen because of this, this is going to happen. And when it happens, it's crazy. All of a sudden you get all these people out of the woodworks and they're like, oh my gosh, congratulations. I've been watching you forever. And they're like, oh my gosh, if you can do that, I can do that. I'm really interested. I've been watching you and I really want some more information. It's like, it's crazy. It happens every single time that I announce something that's happened and been able to accomplish. So start talking about these goals and these dreams and what your vision is for the next 5 years. And what the biggest thing that I can kind of stress upon is you talking about the vision that you have for your future is going to inspire somebody else to start thinking about theirs. And we are designed to just kind of like turn off that dreams and those goals and everything. It's like right when you graduate high school or something, it's like, well, gotta go to work and then no more dreams. And like, we are vision casters, literally. We are brought back into it just to start telling people, like, start dreaming again, start getting yourself out there, start thinking absolutely crazy dreams, put it down on paper, get your butt to work, make it happen. And so start being more vocal about it. And if you are a visual person, take these and put them into pictures and do a vision board for yourself. So meaning, like, you know, Tennessee is one of mine. I could literally put a picture of the Tennessee State, the Dave Ramsey, and an airplane. Like, that little clump right there would signify like that's going to happen. And I would put May, the date, May 26th, going up there. And so And then last thing we're gonna do, and then we're gonna hop off. It's a little bit longer than an hour, sorry guys, but I hope you're finding value in this, is I want us to write down a 21-day commitment and a promise to yourself and a promise to It Works. So what I mean by that is for the next 21 days, and it starts tomorrow since it's almost midnight here, what can you commit to yourself? Be realistic in this, you guys. You know, we've been thinking super big and super outrageous the last couple about hour or so, but I want you guys to now hone yourself back in. And I want you to be realistic with this, but also put yourself outside your comfort zone a little bit. So the next 21 days, what can you commit to yourself doing with no excuses? You will not let anything get in the way. So if it's going outside and running, even if it's raining, you're getting your butt outside and you are going for a run. Maybe it's committing to 1 hour with your kids with no phone, no technology every single day for 1 hour. And you better put your phone in a locked in your car, and you spend that 1 hour with your kids. Maybe it's going on a date, a different type of a date with your significant other for 21 days and just getting to know that person more. But without any excuse, you're going to commit to 21 days of one thing for yourself personally. Write that down. Maybe it's taking your products consistently. Just wink, wink. And for this 21-day commitment, set yourself an alarm for every day. Like tonight, set your day every single day for the next 21 days of whatever time that you can accomplish it. Everyone's times are gonna be different. So that it'll remind you, I'm committing to this one thing, just one thing. Maybe it's cooking a home cooked meal for 21 days for yourself personally. What is that? And then what I want you to do is I want you to commit to one thing for It Works. For your business, what is one thing that you can commit to? You know, we have our 6 list, which is what we do to build our business and everything, but sometimes our 6 list doesn't get filled throughout the day. Unfortunately, we should every single day, but maybe your one thing is to, without a doubt, do a story on your story of both business and product, 2 different like types of stories with polls on them. No matter what, no excuse, every single day. Maybe it's calling a different potential every single day for 21 days. That's gonna be mine. Oh God, that scares me. Mine would either be calling a potential every day or going live every single day. I'm gonna have to think on that one. Okay, so now that we have our vision for 2020, we have our 5-year vision also, which I'm sure that probably opened y'all's eyes up to like really thinking, what would 5 years from now look like? What do I want it to look like? And you get to design that. You get to literally design your future that we just did together. And it's not going to look exactly like what we just wrote, but we at least have a guide now to what we want. We know what we want for our future, and we're going to work toward it. So everything that we're doing every single day is going to get us one step closer to being able to achieve those. Now with this 21-day commitment, I want you guys to commit to yourself right now No excuses. You're going to make those two things, one personal, one it works, happen no matter what. Because when you achieve 21 days of doing it, you're going to feel so proud of yourself because you just made a promise to yourself. And when you promise to yourself and you actually follow through with it, you'll be able to hold trust within yourself that you can make things happen. Mine, for me, making my bed every single day after I read the book, Make Your Bed, literally it's called Make Your Bed. Like I 100% make my bed every single day, no matter what. And it makes me feel so proud of myself just for making a stinking bed. But once you start having that trust within yourself that you can do 21 days of one thing, you'll be able to trust yourself that the whole 12 months from now is going to happen. All these things that you just wrote down, you're going to trust yourself that you're going to make those happen. You're going to trust that your 5 years from now is going to look like what your 5 years that you wrote down, what you want it to look like is going to look like that. And so I'm going to end it here with what's one thing that you can do tonight for one of these goals. Maybe it's a 21 day, maybe it's one of your months. What's one thing today that you can do to start getting those started? Maybe it's finish a 6 list real quick. Maybe you haven't done the rest of the day. Maybe it's put a post up. Maybe it's text a friend of yours to be an accountability partner. Send them a picture of your 2020 and say, this is what I want my 2020 to look like. I need to tell somebody because I need you to hold me accountable. Maybe it's finding out a flight cost. But do one thing tonight before you go to bed. And it's just an action. You have your roadmap, but finding the action that's associated to the roadmap is going to be what's going to put it into action or going to make it happen. And then just have fun with it. You guys, I cried on here. I got super personal on here. I laughed on here. But at the end of the day, just have fun with it. Like, think of it as a challenge for yourself. And if it doesn't happen, oh well, move it to the next month. Shoot, I mean, it would heartbreak me, but if I don't go to Tennessee in May, then I'll be going in June. You better believe that. And so have fun with it. And I'm so excited to be able to see all of our dreams come true and our visions come true in 2020. And just know that nothing can hold you back except for yourself. Get your mind right, and then you're going to be able to make all these things come true. I believe in you. God is here for you. And just know that there are some incredible things going to be happening in 2020. And I don't want anybody to be left behind because we are just going like this. And I just know it. I just know it. It makes me so excited just to know that like we're all going there together. And there's there's nothing that's going to stand in our way anymore because we know where we're going and God is going to help provide us to get there. So that's all I got, you guys. Do you guys have any questions or anything?